G'day there guys, my name's Markee and you're watching Am I the Arsehole? Let's go. Am I the arsehole for putting extra salt in my sister-in-law's food? So I, female 34, have a sister-in-law, female 25, let's call her H. She's been together with my brother J, male 32, for 3 years now. We were born in Europe, but originally are from the Middle East. H is born and raised in Europe. Our religion and part of our culture is different from hers, but we didn't mind because she's a nice girl and we are open-minded. She really tries her best to please my brother in every way. She's learning Arabic, asking about the culture, and lately she started looking up recipes from our country too. My brother is very happy with everything she does, and if he's happy, then we are too. Last week they came to visit our whole family for lunch. Our family is pretty big, with many cousins, kids, brothers, sisters, parents, and grandparents. Most of them were there. H made a meal which is really popular in the country that we're originally from. Everyone was amazed by it. She left it in the kitchen with all the other dishes for later. Well, to be fair, I'm cooking since I was 14 years old, and I'm a pretty good cook too. I was interested how her food tasted, so I tried it. It wasn't bad, but I thought maybe I could fix it up with a little salt and spices. When we served the food for lunch, everyone complimented H about the dish and how well she has done it. Here is where I might be the arsehole. I told everyone that I fixed the food up with some salt and spices. J got very angry and started to argue with me in front of everyone. He told me there was nothing wrong with H's meal and I shouldn't be disrespectful. But I believe in constructive criticism, and I was trying to help her learn. After that, they left, and I saw H crying in the car. My family told me I was an asshole and embarrassed our guest. I feel pretty bad. Am I the asshole? Now in the comments, you're the asshole. Seriously, dude. Constructive criticism would be talking to her in private and making suggestions in a friendly way like, hey, your ex was really good. Might I make a suggestion to make it more authentic? If yes, try adding a little more salt and X kind of spice. That's constructive because it helps her learn and doesn't embarrass her. What you did was 1. Mess with her dish without her knowledge or permission, then 2. Publicly steal credit for its success in a way that told everyone it wasn't good until you messed with it. You took something that was about her attempt at making your cultural food, and both made it about you instead, and also insulted her efforts at replicating your food. What you said, between the lines, was that H's cooking just wasn't good enough to eat as she had prepared it, and she needed a real pro like yourself to fix it. That is a serious insult to her. So your family is correct. You were an asshole and you did seriously embarrass H. Try to imagine what it would be like if the tables were reversed. You put a lot of time and effort into making H's cultural food. Her family said that it was really good, only to have one of H's relatives stand up and say it sucked until they messed with it without your knowledge. You would be pretty sad too, right? Always think about how the other person will feel before you act. You should feel bad. You're the asshole. You praised yourself a good cook, and you decided to add spices so you can also get recognition for a dish that you did not make. Get over yourself, and try to butt out of situations that have nothing to do with you. You're the asshole. You could have easily salted and seasoned your own portion and let everyone else decide how they wanted theirs to taste. You injected your own opinion into everyone else's food without their knowledge or permission, and then to top it off, you tried to claim ownership of the taste when you were a very minor participant of the process. Next time, if there is one, worry about your own plate rather than everyone else's. And back up to the post, there is an edit. Okay, so I see everyone thinks I'm the arsehole, but just to clear things up, I didn't say it in a bad way. I told her I tried it myself, and for the first try, it tasted really good, but I thought it could use some salt and spices, so I put some more if you don't mind. Next time, it'll be even better. And I didn't want to steal the spotlight, I just wanted to be honest. Edit 2, I apologized the next day and told her it's a misunderstanding, but my brother can't let this go. And now onto the update. Thank you for all of your comments and all the criticism. even though it was hard to admit first, but I really messed up. After my post, I started to think things through and had a long conversation with my grandparents. A lot of trauma unfolded, and I realized why I was being like this with my sister-in-law. When I was around her age, I had a similar personality to her. Shy, kind to everyone, always smiling and being very positive. Then bad things happened and I started to change. I became this anxious, negative person who I am today. When she became part of the family, I realized how she was and then thought she needs to toughen up. I saw my old self in her and thought if she will stay like this, she'll get hurt. It was something in my subconscious. I didn't even think about how toxic I was actually being to her. I hurt her, I hurt my brother, and I embarrassed my family. I wanted to fix things, apologize, and make sure nothing like this happens again. So I invited her over for lunch. Thankfully, she said yes. I looked up some recipes from her country and got to cooking. When she arrived, the food was ready. She tasted it and jokingly said, "It could use some salt and spices." Oh my lord, I deserved that. Then we had a conversation about our issues and cried. It was so wholesome. We promised each other we will cook something together every weekend. Then we went to my parents' house and almost everyone was there who came to visit last time. I've apologized for the ones I've hurt and promised nothing like this will ever happen again. They forgave me. We had a good time after, lots of laughs, tea, and food. Before they left, I pulled my brother to the side and gave him my phone with a confirmation email. I rented the most romantic place ever for him and my sister-in-law to go and celebrate Christmas together. We will decorate the place with Jay in the next few days. And finally, I've decided to go to therapy and work on my issues, for the sake of myself and my family too. These few days were intense, and this was a huge wake-up call. One thing is for sure, I wouldn't want to lose the ones I love the most. Thank you, Reddit. And now in the comments, admitting that you're wrong is so hard, but to go the extra mile and try to fix your wrong and go to therapy to work on yourself is amazing. Good for you, OP. If we had more people like you, the world would be a better place. Does this update rub anyone the wrong way, or is it just me? The first half of this just sounded like a pity party. No, my immediate reaction was that it seemed manipulative. Like, how convenient your excuse for acting poorly turns the sympathy back on you. Our next post is titled, "Am I the asshole for turning down a Christmas dinner invitation from my mum's family?" So I, 21 female, am currently in university and live in a dorm, using my own money and everything. My mum, 40 female, had me when she was 19. My dad joined the military to provide, and so he was gone most of the time. My parents split up when I was young, and my mum and I moved across the country. My mum started dating again when I was a teenager, and it was like I became invisible. When she married Gregory, 50 male, it became even different. I grew really resentful when my mum had a new baby, and I'll admit that it wasn't healthy, and neither was my attitude. When the time for university came, I got a good enough scholarship and moved out. I am honestly surprised they noticed I was even gone. I've gotten 2 texts from my mum a year. Happy birthday and Happy New Year's. Only this year did I get a 3rd text, and that's just to announce that I have a new baby sister. So I got an email the other day that was pretty much an invite to a Christmas dinner that they were hosting, and it seems like a lot of extended family are going to be there. I don't want to be there, so I declined the invite. Yesterday, I got a phone call from my mum crying about me deciding not to come for the dinner and really wanting to see me there. Then Gregory took the phone and all but called me an asshole while scolding me. It's made me feel a little bad because she's still my mom, and I still feel like I should go just for her sake. Now in the comments, not the asshole. They weren't there for you when you needed them. That's literally a parent's job. Yup, not the asshole. She's crying and he's mad because your absence at Christmas will raise a ton of questions about their parenting, or lack thereof, that they aren't comfortable answering because it'll make them look bad. And OP says, I doubt it. The entire extended family knows, and they aren't hiding that I'm not part of the family according to my grandmother. And she's shown me Facebook photos where they've had captions like complete family and other stuff. And while my grandmother has said that she'd like me to reconcile, she thinks it's better for me if I don't. As much as I dislike Gregory, I do know him well enough to know that he does love my mum and hates seeing her cry. As for mum, I'm sure she does want to see me for me, or because she feels bad, but that doesn't mean she deserves it. She didn't even invite me with a phone call or a text, just an impersonal evite. I really do feel terrible for making her cry though, and do wish that I hadn't done that. You didn't make her cry. She cried out of her own feelings of guilt, sadness, or whatever. You are not responsible for her feelings. Oh, so it might not be that your mum wants to play happy family, but more about your mum realizing that hosting with a baby is a lot of work, and she's looking for a babysitter/maid/cook to help her with everything. If she wants to see you so badly, there are 364 other days out of the year that she could be a mum too. And OP replies, Gregory didn't let me near the last baby that he and my mum had, and that's when I lived there. I doubt he'd want to now. Info? There are 2 babies? Where's the older one? Older one is a boy that they had while I still lived with him. This new one is a girl that they apparently had this year. Only 2 texts from your mum each year? No phone calls until now? Not the asshole. You do what suits you. They've treated you like an acquaintance since she started dating and eventually married. It would be only normal for you to not wish to attend. Why waste a holiday with people who treat you that way? Your mother's husband's insults prove how he's felt all along. All the best to you. Absolutely not the asshole. Just because they want to play happy family for the other family members doesn't mean that you need to play too. I bet your other family members don't know that you are estranged from your mother and her husband, like making excuses when you aren't home for birthdays and stuff because you're busy with uni. And now that the others will be coming, there will be questions if you don't come around because family and stuff. Let me tell you, if you don't want to go, then don't go. Don't let them guilt trip you. You owe them, or especially your mother, nothing. And now onto the update. So my mum's Christmas party went and passed this past Friday, and I figured I'd make this post as an update. Like I thought, my mum phoned me back because my grandma made her. She asked to meet me in person, but I said I didn't feel comfortable. She said she could bring Gregory or grandma if it would help. I said hell no to Gregory, which surprised her, but I did agree to grandma. After snow issues, we met in a coffee shop with grandma claiming she would be a mediator. I looked at my post to see your guys' advice to, I don't know, guide me before I left. I admitted to mum that I didn't want to see her, but thought this call would clear the air. I asked why barely only 2 texts a year, and she said Gregory told her college kids didn't need their mums, and she would be interfering. I asked why she couldn't at least phone me to invite me, and she said Gregory told her sending an evite made me on the same level as other relatives, and I would like being respected. That made no frickin' sense to me, and I got so mad. I asked why the F she even wanted me there when she would treat me like extended family. She told me when I was gone, seeing how Gregory treated their kids made her realize that she had neglected me. She had been going to therapy and wanted us to mend things. I pointed out listening to Gregory about me then was the dumbest possible thing she could do since he never liked me. I knew that I'd start crying like a little cow, so I started ranting about how I'd rather not meet my half-siblings since I know I'd resent them. They don't deserve that. How my extended family also cast me out, how everyone blamed therapy not working on me. My mum was shocked and even more shocked when my grandma took my side and everything. I told her I was really sorry that I made her cry, and it didn't make me feel better. She forgave me on that, but told me that it wasn't my fault and she deserved it. My mum asked if I'd ever come home, and I said that Gregory would either need to apologize or die. That was a bit harsh since I don't want him to die, so I said if he leaves forever is good too. My mum said she understood, started crying, apologized like 100 times, and asked if she could text or phone me more often. I said sure because it still makes me feel like crap to see my mum cry. Since then, mum has texted me and called me every day, but hasn't tried to force things. I did not go to the party since Gregory has not apologized. Grandma has been staying with them and things aren't too good between them. They had big fights over him refusing to say sorry and how they treated me and aren't talking. I don't want my mum's marriage to end for the sake of her other kids, but I can't lie, it feels good to not be ignored. Apparently my mum wants to meet on Christmas or Christmas Eve. As long as Grandma comes, I'll let her, but I don't know if we'll ever be close again. So thanks guys, your advice really did help, and I'm feeling better mentally. And now in the comments, good job sticking to your boundaries. I'm happy your mum is showing growth in realizing what was wrong, and I hope your relationship improves even if you are not super close. Also, a hell yeah to your amazing grandma for sticking by your side and acting as a mediator. I hope you have a good Christmas and that things keep getting better for you. And OP replies, Merry Christmas to you too. I don't know if things will ever get better, but her at least acknowledging she was wrong means something to me, even if I don't know what it is. And I really do love my grandma, and I'm happy that other people think she is great too. Yeah, I'm loving your grandma too, but honestly, the first part of this update completely pissed me off. Gregory. I was thinking, does this mum have the basic common sense to wipe her ass after a dump, or does she get or follow Gregory's advice for that too? But she surprised me. She seems to genuinely want a relationship and is taking steps to make that happen. Best wishes, OP. I'm glad your mother is understanding that she did a disservice to you and agrees that she neglected you. That's showing a lot more understanding and contrition than many mothers we see on here manage. I'd encourage you to see if you can build a relationship with your mother now, one that probably won't include Gregory. If it's just painful for you, then you can cut it off. But it sounds like something more positive than that is possible. Please don't feel like you owe it to your past self to cut your mother off or keep her at an arm's length if she is positive in your life now. And OP replies, I don't see myself ever being around her if Grandma isn't there too. I'm happy that she knows that she was wrong, but I don't know if I can trust her enough to give her a second chance to be my mom. And as for Gregory, I think she's finally got the message that I hate him. It sounds like your mom is in a really abusive and controlling relationship. Those are hard to get out from under. While I'm not excusing her behavior, maybe try to see her in that light, and that her actually reaching out to you and willing to meet you on your terms is a huge step for someone in her position. And OP replies, she didn't start treating me bad when she and Gregory got together. That started before, and he treated her like an angel when I lived with them. Maybe it's changed, but that's how it is. And that's where I'm going to leave today's episode, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. And as always, have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.